Dear aspirants, I hope you are preparing well for upcoming Prelims 2026. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about the notification that has been issued by the UPSC for upcoming Civil Services Examination for 2026. In this video lecture, we will discuss the eligibility criteria, method of application, and certain new rules or regulations that has been introduced by UPSC in this notification. So let's begin. Now, first important thing that you must notice that yesterday the notice was declared, right? Almost more than 24 hours have been passed. So the online application process is open now, and the last date for submission of application is 24th February 2026. You must note that this is the last date for submission of application till 6 p.m. of 24th February. Means UPSC has given 21 days timeline to submit your application, and generally every year UPSC gives 3 weeks time, that is 21 days, right? Now, and must note that the last date is 24th February 2026, and don't wait for last time, right? So to avoid last minute rush or any kind of technical glitch, fill your form as soon as possible. Now, important information for the candidates. So here you will notice certain things. First, that the online application portal of Union Public Service Commission for registration and filling up of application form online has 4 cards or modules, right? So you have to complete 4 cards, or means there are 4 cards or modules for the application. So out of 3, right, these 3 will be filled, means it is related to account creation, universal registration, and common application form are common to all examination applications. Clear? First 3 modules or cards. Last one, the 4th one, right? So the 4th card or module is examination specific, right? And can be filled during the time period allowed in the notification of an examination. So 4th module is exam specific, and it will be filled during the time period allowed by the commission in the notification of the examination. Simply, so these 3 modules are common for all, and the official website is upsconline.nic.in. You have to log in this website, and here you can apply, right, for upcoming examination. Next, again, once a candidate has registered one online application portal, right, universal registration number, right, is generated. So once you are registered, there will be a URN. URN means universal registration number, and it will be same for the whole lifetime, right? There will be no change. So common for all examination of the commission, right? Whether you are filling the form for Civil Services Examination or any other examination that is conducted by the UPSC, for example APFC, right, EPFO, all these are the exams conducted by UPSC, and several other examinations of Group A and Group B, right, are also conducted by UPSC. So you have to create just one type, that is known as universal registration number, right? Again, after filling up the examination specific form, application number is generated, which is the exam specific and is to be retained by the applicant along with the URN, right? For any future communication with the commission, the URN has to be registered only once in lifetime, right? So as I said, that your URN, it should be registered only once in the lifetime, right? Once you are registered with your URN, universal registration number, it will remain for the whole lifetime, right? And again, URN will remain same, but the application number, right? Obviously you are applying for any other examination, or even next year you are applying for UPSC Civil Services Examination, your application number will change, it is dynamic, but again note that URN will remain same, only application number will change, right, as per the examination, and will vary from examination to examination. That is common for all. Again, this is very important point, that applicants are strongly advised to use their Aadhaar card as ID document, right? So though other documents are allowed as ID proof, but it is strongly advised that you should use your Aadhaar card. Why? Because this time, right, there will be facial authentication, right? And here Aadhaar have your right biometric data. Clear? So that's why it is strongly advised. Next, how to apply. So here simply you have to visit this website. Already I have told you, upsconline.nic.in. So here you can generate your what? First, read the general instructions. That is very important. And one more thing I would suggest, that though I am telling you each and everything, in spite of that, you should read the notice once. Right? This notification once. And all the instructions that is mentioned on the, or that is available on the website. And profile module wise instructions and instruction for uploading documents before proceeding to the fill up the form. So read all the instructions carefully. Only then proceed. Simple. And what is the website? This is the website, upsconline.nic.in. And as I said that there will be URN, universal registration number, and for the whole lifetime it will be same, and you have to create it just once, right? Common application form you will fill, and the fourth module, right, it is exam specific module. Exam specific module means including fees and center, etc. So for example, you have filled the form, common application form, that is known as CAF, common application form. So in this is common for the exam specific. For example, in prelims, right, 2026, you qualified that exam. After that, right, there will be mains examination. So there will be a certain time limit. For example, 10 days open window, right? There you will have to submit 200 fees, right? That is 200, and again you have to, right, re-log in, and again what, verify your documents. Simple, right? And it is common for those candidates who qualify certain stages of examination, right? We will discuss further. Again, failure to provide the required information or documents along with the common application form will entail cancellation of candidature for the examination. So if you fail, right, to submit required documents, required information, right, your candidature will be cancelled. That is very important. Again, very important point, note one, that the commission provides one-time facility for candidates to update or modify their URN profile, universal registration number profile. So only once. So be very careful, right? Be very cool and calm before applying, right? So, and if you have committed any kind of mistake, then you are allowed to check, right, correct it only once in your URN, only once. It clearly mentions one-time facility for candidates to update or modify their universal registration number profile, only just once, right? Again, any change made to the URN profile will not be reflected in the application already submitted. So for example, you have submitted your application, and after submission you find that there is certain mistake. So after you are allowed to modify it, right, or rectify it just once, and even after rectification, right, this will not reflect in your application already submitted. Though it will be corrected, but it will not reflect in your application. That is notable thing. Again, the updated information will apply only to applications submitted after the candidate has made necessary changes and successfully relogged, right? You are given only one chance, and after re-updating your mistakes, right, you have to relog your URN, universal registration number. Simple, right? So be very careful. Now what about photo? So here, live photo capture for filling up of common application form, live photo. Simple, right? And here you have to be very careful again, right? Means applicants are required to upload their photograph, right? Also capture their live photo. So you are required to upload your photograph, passport size photo first. Second, your live photograph while filling up the common application form. Clear? And one most important thing that you should note, that there should be no shadow on your face and on the background of your image, right? It should be clear. Applicants must ensure that uploaded photograph and live photograph captured are clear as per the instructions given in the instruction and frequently asked questions. So in simple, as I told you, that make sure that your background should be white, right? First. Second, there should be no shadow on the background and no shadow on your face. Your face should be clear, and even your photograph that you are uploading, it should be clear, right? Next, signature. Again, here you have to be careful again. So you are required to sign 3 times, one below the other, means just like, right, on a plain white paper using black ink, right? So black ink, listen, for example, this is a white paper, plain white paper. So you are required to sign 3 times, right? Your signature. For example, person, just my name is Amit, so Amit, once, again below it Amit, you have to write your full signature, right? No initial is allowed, and it should be clear, legible, and again Amit. So 3 times, you can see the name is, means the sign is 3 times on the same paper, just below of other, and it should be on plain white paper and in black ink. Clear? So plain white paper, 3 times signature on the same paper with black ink only black ink, no blue or any other color. Again, more important thing, the candidates will not be allowed to withdraw their application, right? Not be allowed to withdraw their application after the submission of the same. Means once you have submitted your application, you are not allowed to withdraw your application. You cannot withdraw your application. Simple. Again, candidates should have details of one photo ID card, which is Aadhaar card, voter card, and again, as we have discussed, that it's strongly advised that you should prefer your Aadhaar card as your ID document, right? So here options are given: Aadhaar card, voter ID, PAN card, passport, driving license, or any other photo ID card. Any other photo ID card, right? Your ID must have your photograph issued by the state or central government, right? And the details of this photo ID card will have to be provided by the candidate while filling up the universal registration number profile. So while creating your URN profile, you have to provide your ID card's details, right? Its number or other details. This photo ID card will be used for all future reference, and the candidate is advised to carry, right? Candidate is advised to carry this photo ID card while appearing for the examination or personality test. For example, you have uploaded your Aadhaar card, right? The same should be carried by you to the exam venue for further examination or even in the interview. The same ID card, right? Don't do for example, don't do such type of mistake that you have applied or uploaded Aadhaar card and you are taking driving license or PAN card. Don't do that. The same ID card that you have uploaded in your common application form, right? Next, last date we have already discussed, 24th February till 6 p.m. and don't wait for last time, right? Avoid last minute rush. Issuance of admit card, again important, right? So e-admit card will be issued on the last working day of preceding week of the date of examination. So the examination is on 24th May, right, 2026. it will be issued, means the e-admit card will be issued on the last working day of the preceding week. It's preceding week means the last prior week, right, on the date before the date of examination, right. So generally your admit card shall be, right, issued between 16th to 17th of May, right. Again, those candidates who have opted for change of scribe, right, 7 days prior to the date of examination shall be issued e-admit card 3 days prior to the date of examination. So if you have asked for change of scribe just 7 days before of examination, then you will be issued your e-admit card just 3 days prior to the examination. For rest of the candidate, it shall be issued, right, the last working day of the preceding week of the date of examination. Simple. Next, again, this is also very important. You must be knowing that all applicants are requested to provide a valid and active email ID while creating account, as the commission may use electronic mode for contacting them. Obviously, right? You must have a valid and active, both, not only valid but active email ID. Penalty for wrong answers, you must be knowing 130 is penalty, right, for both papers, whether it is GS or CSET, right. 130 is negative marking, 130. Again, online question paper representation portal. This is a good initiative, you can say, that the commission will be providing an opportunity to the appeared candidates, you have applied but not appeared, then you will not be allowed. Only those candidates who have appeared for the examination, then they will be allowed to make representation to the commission on the questions asked in the papers of the examination and on the answer keys of the question paper. Means if you have any kind of doubt or issue, right, whether on the question paper or even on the answer keys, right, then you can represent yourself, right. But the criteria is you should be the appeared candidates, you must have appeared the examination, right. And what it is for objective type, means for prelims of the civil services preliminary examination. And what is the time frame? Time frame is 5 days, and from the 3rd day of the examination to 6 p.m. of the 7th day, right. So only 5 days window is open, and here you can represent yourself regarding any question, regarding the question paper or answer key issued by the commission, right. And it is for the prelims examination. And here same, you have to log in the same portal and go to the representation of what header examination section, representation on question paper, right. This is the criteria. Next, help desk for candidates. So here, if you have any kind of doubts, queries, right, so you can contact the commission. Here helpline number is given, this is 01124041001, or this is the email ID, right, UPSC OAP@nic.in. so this is the helpline, right, and it will be operational from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. official working hours, right, and remain active from 4th of February to 24th February 2026, means till the last day of application. Simple. Next, change of scribe. So this is for especially for what person with visually impaired, right. Visual means generally for blind person or disabled persons. So candidates who opted to use a scribe may request a change of scribe up to 7 days prior to the date of examination. So the examination is on 24th of May. So till 17th May, right, if you want scribe, you can request the commission for or to change the scribe. Simple. And for such candidates, admit card shall be issued only just 3 days prior to the date of examination. We have already discussed. Simple. Now, mobile phones are banned, obviously, and not only mobile phones but also any kind of other electronic gadgets. Other electronic gadgets means, right, it clearly mentions, right? So whether it is in, it is on or even switch off, right? So you are not allowed. So any mobile phone even in switch off mode, pager, any electronic equipment or programmable device, storage media like pen drive, even pen drives are not allowed, right? So simply you have to understand that you cannot carry any type of electronic gadget, right, that can be used for contact or storage, right? Smart watches or camera, Bluetooth devices or any other equipment or related accessories either in working or switch off mode capable of being used as a communication device during the examination, right? And it is strictly prohibited, and violation of such rule, right, it will compromise your future examination. Quite clear? So it shall entail disciplinary action including ban on future examination, right? In future means you can be debarred from future examination. Simple. Again, candidates are also advised not to bring such type of items, electronic gadgets or even any valuable items, right? Gold, jewelry, right? Gems, stones. So to the exam venue, because, right, the commission shall be, it says, commission will not be responsible for any loss in this regard. So do not bring any valuable or costly items. Simple. Again, obviously, reach the venue of the examination at least 30 minutes before or prior, right, to the commencement of, before the commencement of the examination, right? And no late entry will be allowed under any circumstances. Once gates are closed, you will not be allowed under any circumstances. So try to reach your exam venue at least 30 minutes before the prescribed times, right? Next, again, face authentication, as I said, and that's why it is strongly advised to upload your Aadhaar ID, right? And at the exam venue, there shall be face authentication for candidates at the exam venue, right? And each and every candidate, right? It is mandatory for each and every candidate. Simple. So the date of preliminary examination we already know, 24th of May 2026. Number of vacancies, right? This is important. So this year total number of vacancies is 933. Out of this, 33 for person with benchmark disability. Again, 7 vacancies for candidates blindness or low vision, right? 11 vacancies for deaf and hard hearing. 8 vacancies for locomotor disability including cerebral palsy, leprosy cured, dwarfism, acid attack victims and muscular dystrophy. 7 vacancies for multiple disability from amongst the persons under class A to C. So in total there is 933 vacancy, right? Little bit less than last year. Last year it was around 979, right? So roughly you can see that for last 10 years the vacancy is around 900 to 1000, right? This number of vacancy comes for, is coming for last 10 years. This is the, right, even in some year it was around 800, right, even less than 900. So but the vacancy revolves around 900 to 1000, and this year 933. Clear? And this is the total vacancy, total number of vacancies. This is again a good initiative of UPSC, that is called Pratibha Setu portal, right? So here means the information, basic information of those candidates who have appeared in the final stage of examination, that is interview or personality test. Their basic information, for example, their educational qualification, percentage, right, their contact number, right, shall be available on this portal, right? Why? For their further employment in private sector, registered private sector companies, right, or public sector undertakings or any other registered organizations, right? But here again is a condition. What is condition? That this is optional, this is not mandatory, right? Means candidates will be required to give their consent at the time of filling of the exam specific module. A candidate may opt out, right? It is up to you. As I said, it is optional, not mandatory. You can give your permission that you can use my this basic information on the for this portal, or you can opt out. Once you opt out, right, your basic informations or the relevant information will not be shown on this portal, right? But once you give permission, right, and in that case his or her details will not be published by the commission. Simple. Next, besides sharing the information of the non-recommended willing candidates of this examination, the commission will not assume any responsibility or liability for the method and the manner in which information related to such candidate is utilized by these registered organizations. So here, if the registered organizations, right, get your information and they use it further, then the commission will not assume any responsibility or liability. So in simple terms, it is up to you that you can opt for this portal, that you can use my basic information, right, for this portal or not. Not mandatory. And only here, only those candidates who have appeared in the final stage of examination, right, that is personality or interview test, only those candidates basic information will be available here, right? And again, as I said, it is optional. Now centers. So this year UPSC has made 83 centers, right, all over the India for prelims examination, and 27 centers for mains examination, right? And again, what is the criteria for these centers? First apply, first allot, first come, first serve. That is the criteria. Means, for example, if you want your center in Delhi or Delhi NCR, try to fill your form as soon as possible. Within 3 to 5 days, you should complete your form, right? Again, here, and one more important thing, that if any candidate appear at a venue other than the one indicated by the commission in his or her admit card, such candidate will not be allowed to take the examination. It simply means, for example, your center is XYZ school, right, Delhi. That is mentioned in your admit card. But what happened that due to some reason, right, or by mistake, you reached a school named ABC School, Delhi, right? Though it is also a center of UPSC, right? UPSC Civil Services Prelims Examination, right? But you will not be allowed to appear in that center. You are allowed to appear only in that center that is mentioned in your e-admit card. Clear? Again, obviously, as the commission is the final authority, so the commission reserves the right to change the center at its discretion if situation demands. Obviously, the commission can change your center, but you cannot change your center. Once you have opted for your center, you cannot request for change of the center. Only the commission has such a right, right? So the commission reserves the right to change the center at its discretion, at its own will, right, if the situation demands, right? For example, there is a particular center where the capacity is 1500, right, or 2000, but right, due to some reason, situation has arisen that 100 students, right, shall be shifted to other centers, right? Then the commission may change and it will convey you, but you cannot request for the change of center once you have opted for. So be very careful. Next, plan of examination, no change, right? Prelims and second phase, means, and finally interview. Again, you have to provide basic information, your name, date of birth, right, required documents, photograph, signature, etc. Again, this point is very important. The candidates should also note that no addition, deletion or any changes are allowed in the online application form in any circumstances once it is submitted. So as we have seen, only one time, right, or one chance is given for your URN, universal registration number. There you can change only once, but after submission of application, no change, no addition, deletion or change is permitted under any circumstances once you have submitted your application. So be very cool and calm, right, before filling the form. Get your all documents done and ready. Next, the commission shall provide a window of 10 days for which, for after the declaration of the result of civil services preliminary examination. Means once the result of preliminary examination 2026 is declared, then there shall be a 10 days open window for those candidates who have cleared the prelims examination, right? And same for the candidates, right? Here they have to log in this website, again UPSC online, where you have applied, right? And it is mandatory for all. You have to mandatorily log in the portal, right? Again, reconfirm their details, etc., and submit the application form to enable the commission to generate e-admit card, and failing which such candidate will not be allowed to participate in the future stages of the examination, right? And if you don't do so, then you will not be allowed to appear in the future examination, whether it is means or interview. So again, you have to reconfirm your details, right, from the same website, and again submit your further application for means examination, and there shall be 10 days open window. Again, the candidates who are required to pay fee, right, we will see, but here I am telling you, for prelims it is just 100 rupees. That is the fee for all, right, except female, SC, ST and person with benchmark disability, right? All candidates have to pay a fee of 100 rupees. That is very nominal, right? Again, for means examination it is 200 rupees for all candidates who have cleared the prelims examination. They will again have to pay 200 rupees as a fee for means examination, except, again exception, female, right, SC, ST and person with benchmark disability. These candidates are exempted, right, and shall have to pay the fee during this window. Again, the commission shall also provide a window of 15 days, right? See, once you cleared the prelims, you will be given a window of 10 days, right, again to reconfirm and further reconfirm your details and pay the fee of 200 rupees, right, for all candidates except female, SC, ST, right, person with benchmark disability. Again, you have qualified your means examination, then again the window will be reopened, right, for 15 days, right, and here you don't have to pay any fee, right? So here, after the declaration of the result of written part of the civil services means examination to the candidate qualified for personality test, right, or interview, right? So for means reconfirmation 10 days window, for interview or personality test reconfirmation it is 15 days window. Simple. Again, in addition to this above para, right, the candidates wherever applicable are required to update their correspondence, permanent postal address or other relevant informations, right? Simple. Again, the candidates who have uploaded the required documents or information earlier have no information to update or fill in are also required to log in, right? Though you have, right, assured all the things, right, your documents information, in spite of that you have to log in, right, and finally submit after verifying the details so as to generate e-summon letters for personality test. Simple. Whether you have submitted or not, you have to confirm. Only then you can generate what the e-summon letters for personality test. Next, again, this is normal, right? Again, preference of services. So candidates shall be required to mandatorily indicate the order of preferences only for those services which are participating in the Civil Services Examination 2026. So mention those services that is required for participating in Civil Services Examination 2026. You have to, right, provide that, indicate that, right? Again, for which the candidate is interested to be allocated to in case of eventual selection. Simple. And lastly, in case of preference for none of the services is indicated, the candidate will not be considered for service allocation. If you have not indicated your service preferences, you will not, right, means there shall be no allocation of services. Simple. Again, a candidate who wishes to be considered for IAS, Indian Administrative Service, or IPS shall be required to indicate as and when asked for by the commission and in the manner prescribed by it their cadre preferences in case of appointment to the IS or IPS. Right? Now, certain important things. This is very important again. No change in the preferences for services and home cadre applicable for IS or IPS once submitted by the candidate would be permitted except as provided in para 3b, B3. Right? So, once you have submitted your preferences of cadre or home cadre, right? So, then no change is permitted except para B3. Simple, right? So, mostly if you see the whole notification, no, you will find that UPSC has restricted any kind of alteration, modification, updation, right, once the application is submitted, except few circumstances. For example, URN, right? Only one chance you can correct your mistake, only one chance. But once you have submitted your common application form, no further, right, alteration, modification, or right correction is allowed. Again, eligibility condition. So first is nationality. So here you have to right, be very careful. For IAS, Indian Administrative Service, and Indian Foreign Service, right, the candidate must be a citizen of India. Must be a citizen of India. So if you are going for IAS or IFS, right, you must be a citizen of India. For other services means central services, Group A, Group B, right, you can be a citizen of India, subject of Nepal, subject of Bhutan, Tibetan refugee, or you have migrated from Pakistan, Burma, Sri Lanka, East African countries like countries of Kenya, Uganda, or Tanzania, Zambia, Malawi, Zaire, Ethiopia, or Vietnam, right, with the intention of permanently settling in India. Then you can apply for other services, not for IAS or IFS. Again, age limit. So there is no change in age limit. So simply I am telling you that for your unreserved candidates, it is 32 years, right? And minimum 21 years. 21 minimum age is but applicable for all, irrespective of category. Minimum you should be 21 years. But maximum age criteria for different candidates is different. For your unreserved, that is general category, it is 32 years, right? Age relaxation. So up to 5 years, maximum 5 years for candidates who are from SC or ST category, right? So for SC and ST category, it is 37, 32 plus 5, 37. Maximum 3 years for OBCs, other backward classes. So for OBC, it is 35 years. 3 years for defense services personnel disabled in operation during hostilities with any foreign country or in any disturbed area released as consequence thereof. So if you are a defense personnel and you are what, disabled, right, means disabled defense personnel, right, they are allowed what, age relaxation of 3 years, again means maximum 35 years for those disabled defense personnel. Again maximum 5 years for in case of ex serviceman. So ex serviceman means whether it is commissioned officer, emergency commissioned officers, short service commissioned officers have rendered at least 5 years military service. So whether you are a commissioned officer, right, emergency commissioned officer, or what, the short service commissioned officer, and if you you have rendered at least 5 years service to the 5 years military service, right, then you are allowed 5 years age relaxation, means 37 years in total. Simple. Again for other candidates, maximum of 5 years in case of obviously emergency commissioned officer, right, or SSCOs who have completed an initial period of assignment of 5 years of military service, obviously as of 1st August 2026. And you must be knowing that this is the cutoff date for age for UPSC, right? It is the 1st of August every year, right? Not 1st January or any other date. This is the cutoff date for every candidates every year, 1st August. Again, this point is also important. So maximum 10 years in case of candidates belonging to person with benchmark disabilities, blindness and low vision, deaf and hard of hearing, locomotor disability including cerebral palsy, leprosy cured, dwarfism and acid attack victims, muscular dystrophy. Simple. So they are allowed a age relaxation of 10 years, means 32 plus 10, 42 years. Right. For whom? For person with benchmark disabilities. And these are the subcategories: blindness, deaf, locomotor disability including cerebral palsy, leprosy, dwarfism, acid attack survivors, right, or muscular dystrophy. Autism, intellectual disability, specific learning disability, mental illness, multiple disabilities from amongst the person under clause 1 to 4 including deaf and blindness. So they have age relaxation of 10 years. Right. Again, these are certain notes you can read. Again, this point is important. Save as provided under para 3 clause 2 subclause 2 above, the age limits prescribed can in no case be relaxed. So except the above condition, the age means there shall be no age relaxation, in simple terms, right? Only you have to fulfill the above criteria that is mentioned in what, para 3 clause 2 subclause 2. Next, this is very important, date of birth related issue. So the date of birth accepted by the commission is that entered in the matriculation or secondary school leaving certificate or in a certificate recognized by an Indian university as equivalent to matriculation or in an extract from a register of matriculates maintained by a university. So for your date of birth, right, the proof of date of birth, your certificate of matriculation or secondary school leaving certificate, right, shall be considered, or any other certificate recognized by Indian university as equivalent to matriculation certificate shall be considered, right, or your age shall be verified from this document, right. Again, no other document relating to age like horoscopes, right, your family horoscopes, affidavits, birth extracts from municipal corporation, service records, right, will be accepted. So other documents shall not be accepted, right? Not accepted. And again, this point is very important. Candidates should note that only the date of birth as recorded in the matriculation or secondary school leaving certificate or in an equivalent certificate as mentioned above, right, issued prior to the date of submission of application will be accepted by the commission, right? Rest other documents shall not be considered. Even birth certificate issued by the municipal corporation shall not be considered, right? And no subsequent request for its change will be considered or granted, right? So once your date of birth is registered, you cannot change your date of birth, right? So clearly it is mentioned, once a date of birth has been submitted by them in the universal registration profile and common application form entered in the records of the commission for the purpose of admission of an examination, right? So no change, as I said, right? You cannot, in simple terms, try to understand that you cannot change your date of birth once you have registered your URN and common application form. So be very careful. It can make or break you. Your one mistake can make or break you, right? Again, minimum qualification, it is graduation degree from any recognized university, whether it is state government or central government, right? Or any other equivalent degree registered from central or state government, right? For technical degrees, this is also allowed, or for MBBS, or you can say medical sector, right? MBBS, BDS, they are also allowed. Number of attempts. So here again you have to understand that for unreserved categories, right, it is 6 attempts, right? For OBCs, other backward classes, 9 attempts. SCs or STs, right? No limit. No limit means no limit in the number of attempts, but there is age limit. What is the age limit? 37 years, right? 32 plus 5 years age relaxation, that is age limit, but no limitation in the number of attempts for SCs and STs, right? Again, for persons with benchmark disabilities. And one more thing I would like to tell you, even for EWS, it is 6 attempts, right? So for UR and EWS, the total number of attempts are 6. OBC, non-creamy layer, 9. For persons with benchmark disability, whether you are from general category, EWS category or OBC category, you are allowed 9 attempts, right? But unlimited for SCs or STs, means person with benchmark disability from SC or ST community, there is unlimited attempts. So for SC or ST category, whether you are a normal person or person with benchmark disability, you have unlimited attempts. For OBC, 9, right? And person with benchmark disability from general category, EWS category or OBC category, also 9 attempts. Simple. Again, you must be knowing that an attempt in the preliminary examination shall be counted as an attempt. For example, even in the one paper, for example, you appeared in the preliminary examination, the attempt shall be counted. Even in the one paper, right? For example, you have appeared in the GS paper, you skipped, or due to some reason you could not appear in the CSET, that attempt shall be counted. But if you did not appear, right, then that attempt shall not be counted. So simple, right? An attempt at a preliminary examination shall be deemed to be an attempt at the civil services examination. Again, if a candidate actually appears in any one paper, right, any one paper, as I said, you appeared in the GS paper and it went what, or it was right, unfortunately it became disaster for you. You felt demotivated, right? Don't be. And I would suggest that even your GS paper did not, or if it does not go well, right, even in spite of that you should appear for CSET. Don't know what shall be the cut-off marks, right? So don't skip your papers. So even in one paper in the preliminary examination, it will be deemed that the candidate has made an attempt at the examination, so that attempt shall be counted. But if you skip the both the papers of prelims, right, due to some reason or unfortunately, right, then that attempt should or shall not be counted. Again, notwithstanding any subsequent disqualification or cancellation of candidature, the fact of the appearance of the candidate at the examination will count as an attempt, right? Means if you are disqualified or your candidature is cancelled due to any reason, that shall also be counted. Simple, right? But as I said, that if you are not, or if you don't appear in both this paper, right, GS and CSET, means you did not appear in the examination, then the attempt shall not be counted. But if you attempted even the first paper, your attempt shall be counted. Even your candidate, you are disqualified, right, due to some reason or whatever the reason is, or your candidature is cancelled, then the attempt shall be counted, right? Next, this is very important, and these rules are introduced this year, right? So be again very alert. So here, a candidate who is appointed to the IAS or IFS, Indian Foreign Service, right, based on the results of earlier examination and continues to be a member of the services, right, will not be eligible to appear in the Civil Services Examination 2026. So in simple terms, if you are an IAS officer, IFS officer, right, you are in the service, it means you will not be allowed to appear in the Civil Services Examination of 2026. Simple. So serving IAS or IFS shall not be allowed to appear in the Civil Services Examination of 2026. They will have to resign, right? Again, in such a case, a candidate is appointed to the IAS or IFS after the Civil Services Preliminary Examination of 2026 is over and the candidate continues to be a member of that service, the candidate shall not be eligible to appear in the Civil Services Means Examination, right? Generally what happens, that the final result is declared before the prelims examination, but somehow if it is postponed, right, and it is declared after the prelims and you appeared in the prelims examination, right, for example your 2025's result, right, 2025's result is pending and you appeared in the prelims, and what happened, that after prelims the result is declared, just an hypothetical situation, after prelims 2026 the final result is declared and you got what, the IAS or IFS, right, then you will not be allowed to appear in the Civil Services Means Examination of 2026. Clear? Again, having qualified in the Civil Services Preliminary Examination 2026, already if such a candidate is appointed to the IAS or IFS after the commencement of the Civil Services Mains Examination 2026, right, just example, this was prelims, but just think about another situation, that you are appointed as an IAS or IFS after Mains 2026, right, but before the result thereof is declared by the commission and continues to be a member of that service, the candidate shall not be considered for the appointment to any service or post on the basis of result of CSE 2026. Clear? Next, again, this is for the candidates who are IPS, Indian Police Service. So point number 2, it says a candidate who has been selected or appointed to the Indian Police Service on the basis of the result of earlier examination, whether it is 2025 right? Just example 2024, 2023, right? Shall not be eligible to opt for or allocated to Indian Police Service on the basis of result of CSE 2026. Simple. Just an example. For example, you are a IPS of 2024, right? IPS 2024 IPS, right? Again, you appeared in the prelims or CSE 2026, but after the final result, right, you will not opt for, means the person is not eligible for what, the same service, that is IPS. Means an IPS cannot opt for IPS in the CSE 2026. In simple terms, you have to understand. For example, due to some reason, when people or aspirant or candidates, right, do not find their expected cadre, right, that time they appear for the next exam, right, to improve their or to change their cadre. So if you are an IPS, you cannot opt for IPS in the what, CSE 2026. Simple. You can opt for any other services, but you will not be allotted what, the IPS. Simple. So this point is especially for IPS. Next, a candidate allocated to the IPS or Central Services Group A. So Central Services, there are 23 Central Services, right? 23 Central Services, and out of 23 Central Services, 18 are Group A, and rest 5 are Group B. Clear? So a candidate allocated to Indian Police Service or a Central Service Group A on the basis of result of CSE 2026 will have the option to appear in the immediate subsequence of CSE 2026. Means, for example, in the final result of 2026, right, you got IPS or any other Central Service Group A Central Service, right? Then you are allowed to appear in the next Civil Services Examination of 2027 only 2027, not further, right? If otherwise eligible, if you are eligible, right, your attempts are left, your age is left, right, age and attempt is left, subject to following restrictions. But there are certain restrictions. What are these restrictions? Such a candidate shall be eligible to appear for the CSE 2027 subsequent year if he or she is granted exemption from the training, right? If you are granted exemption from your training, right, by whom? By the authority concerned, then he or she will be eligible for grant one time exemption only, right? Only grant of one time exemption only. By whom? By the authority concerned, if that candidate is exempted from training, right? And this is allowed only for only once, right, in the subsequent year, that is CSE 2027, right? Next, again, this is mandatory for all, that the selected candidate shall join the training in the foundation course only. Earlier, some candidates used to skip the foundation course, right, and some of them joined the field training, right? But from this year, you will have to join the foundation course only, right, at Labasna. However, if such a candidate neither joins the training for the service allocated on the basis of CSE 2026, nor takes exemption from joining training, his or her allocation of service on the basis of CSE 2026 shall stand cancelled. So, if you don't opt for what, exemption from your training or allocation on the basis of CSE 2026, then your allocation of service shall be cancelled. Simple, right? Again, if he or she finally recommended on the basis of CSE 2027, next year, right? He or she can accept the service allocated either on the basis of CSE 2026 or 2027. So, for example, person X was selected in 2026. Again, fulfilling the above criteria, he or she appeared in 2027. So, the person has option that you can either join as per 2026 or you can join as per 2027. That person has option. Simple. Again, his or her allocation to the service other than one opted shall stand cancelled. Right? So, if opted for, just an example, you opted for 2026, then your service allocation of 2027 shall be cancelled. If you opted for 2027, then your service allocation of 2026 shall be cancelled. Again, in case he or she is not allocated to any service on the basis of CSE 2026, 2027, then he or she can join the service allocated through CSE 2027. So, for example, if in 2027 he or she was not allocated to any service, then he or she can join the allocated service of 2026. Next, again, this is a strict rule also. If he or she does not join training for service allocated on the basis of CSE 2026 or CSE 2027, his or her allocation to both services shall stand cancelled. So, as the candidate has option whether the person can or the candidate can opt for 2026 or 2027 or either, right? And if he or she does not opt either, then his or her allocation to both services shall be or shall stand cancelled. Simple. Again, the seniority of such candidates will be decided according to his or her joining of services allocated on the basis of CSE 2026 or 2027, and the same shall not be depressed. So, your seniority, right? For example, it shall be decided on the basis of CSE 2026 or 2027 as per the candidate has joined the service. Simple. And one more important thing, that however, he or she shall not be allowed to appear for CSE 2028, right? As I said, as it is mentioned, that only one subsequent attempt to improve your rank, to improve your cadre, or to change your cadre, only one subsequent attempt of 2027, not 2028, and any CSE thereafter, right? For example, you got a service in 2026, right? You can appear for 2027 just once, right? And no further attempt, right? Whether 2028 or further shall be allowed. Only one subsequent attempt shall be allowed. So, in that manner, you have to plan. Again, if the candidate is desirous of availing his or her remaining attempt to appear in any subsequent CSE, Civil Services Examination, if otherwise eligible, after availing such one-time exemption from joining training, he or she must not join any service allocated to him or her on the basis of CSE 2026 or 2027, as the case may be. The said service allocation shall stand cancelled automatically. Simple, right? No need to explain further. So, last, in respect of a candidate who has been allocated to any service based on CSE 2025 or earlier, he or she will be given one-time opportunity to appear in either 2026 or 2027, right? So, if you are a selected candidate, right, and allocated to any service based on CSE 2025, any service, right, whether All India service, Group A service, Group B service. It mentions any service, right? Based on CSE 2025. Then that person, right, shall be given one time opportunity, only one time opportunity, whether CSE 2026 or 2027. Clear? As per his or her choice to enable him to utilize his or her remaining attempt subject to fulfilling other eligibility criteria without the need to resign from the service. Obviously that person should not or don't have to resign from his or her post, right? And however such candidate desirous of appearing in CSE 2028 or beyond shall have to resign, right? So this is means the selected candidate based on CSE 2025 shall be given only one time rank improvement, right? Or whatever you can say, right? One time or one chance. And if the candidate is desirous and fulfills the criteria, for example attempt and age related criteria, and the person desires to appear in the further CSE examination of 2028 or upcoming years, right, then the person must have or shall have to resign. Simple. So in short, if you are in service, right, as per the result of CSE 2025, you will be allowed only one attempt. Further, for further attempt, you will have to resign. Medical and physical standards already you know, right? Fees already I have told you that for prelims it is 100, right? 100 rupees for all candidates except what? Except female, SC, ST, and person with benchmark disability candidates. For mains, it is 200 rupees, right? For all candidates except SC, ST, person with benchmark disability, and women, right? So in total, you have to pay, right? You have to pay 300 rupees in two stages. If you qualify prelims, then for further mains examination, you have to pay 200 rupees except female, SC, ST, and person with benchmark disability. And here, right, only online mode of payment, whether debit card, credit card, or UPI payment. No any other mode of payment is acceptable. And again, one more important thing, that without payment, right, application submitted without prescribed fee or mode, unless remission of fee is claimed, shall be what? Summarily rejected. So you have submitted your application, but you have not submitted your fee, right, and by the mode said, right, then simply your application shall be or candidate application shall be rejected. You will not be issued e-admit card, right? So make sure that you fulfill all the conditions of the application. Again, we have already discussed that which candidates are exempted from fees. Application without prescribed fee, I have already said that shall be summarily rejected. And again, fee once paid shall not be refunded under any circumstances. Clear? Again, this point is very important, that if any candidate who took the civil services examination held in 2025 wishes to apply for admission to this examination, he or she must submit his or her application without waiting for the result or an offer of appointment. So for example, though you have passed even means examination, or right, you are appearing for interview, or you have appeared for interview 2025, right, in spite of that, right, if you wish to appear in this examination, you should apply. Don't wait for your result, right? And after coming the result, right, all the conditions, criteria we have discussed. Now how to apply? Very simple, right? Already I have told you that it has been categorized into four modules or 4 cards, 3 for common for all examination, right? And here you have to visit this website upsconline.nic.in. This is the website you have to visit and fulfill all the criteria, submit all the documents, required informations. And already, as I said, that one-time facility for candidates to update or modify their universal registration number profile. So you can update or modify your URN just once. After that, you have to relock your URN profile, and there shall be no further, right, or no further modification, alteration is allowed. Only one chance. Live photo we have already discussed. Uploading signature we have already discussed, right? And you cannot withdraw your application after submission of application, right? We have already discussed. All candidates who are working, right, whether government service, government owned industrial undertakings or similar organizations, or in even private employment, right? This point is important. For example, you are in government service, government owned industrial undertakings or similar organizations, even in private employment, right, should submit their application direct to the commission, right? And persons already in government services, whether in a permanent or temporary capacity or as a work charged employee other than casual or daily rated employees, right, or others, those serving under the public sector enterprises, are however required to submit an undertaking that they have informed in writing, right, informed in writing to their head of office or department that they have applied for the examination. Simple. So whether you are a government employee, right, you are employed in a government or government, you can say public sector enterprises, or even you are doing private job, right, you must inform your head office, right, or department that you are applying for this examination. You have to inform your head office or department. Further, candidates should note that in a case of communication is received from their employer by the commission withholding permission to the candidates applying for or appearing at the examination, their application will be liable to be rejected or candidature will be liable to be cancelled. So simply, if the commission or the information came to the commission, right, after communication with the organization, that you didn't inform your organization, your head office or head of department, right, then your candidature is liable to be cancelled, right? So this is for the employees, persons who are working, whether government, in government sector or private sector, right? So this is regarding a person with benchmark disability. So the candidates have discretion opting for his or her own scribe, or request the commission for the same. So for the person with benchmark disability, they can opt for their own scribes, or they can request the commission for the same, right? Next, the qualification of the commission's scribe as well as own scribe, right, it is mentioned, and what minimum qualification criteria of the examination. However, the qualification of the scribe should always be matriculate or above, right? And again, person with benchmark disabilities in the category of blindness, locomotor disability, both arms affected, and cerebral palsy will be allowed compensatory time of 20 minutes per hour. So such candidates shall be allowed extra time of 20 minutes per hour. For example, for prelims, right, for each paper it is 2 hours, but they shall be allowed what, 20 minutes extra per hour, means in total they will be allowed 20 minutes extra, 40 minutes extra, right, these candidates, right? And candidates for candidates appearing for Civil Services Examination 2026, they will have to provide such details, right? And again, you should read these instructions, right? Especially this is for candidates, right? So read all these instructions, right? You cannot create any kind of disturbance. You cannot argue with the examiners, right? You cannot boycott the examination, or right? So these are the rules. Just have a quick look. Last date of application we have already discussed, 24th of February. Correspondence with the commission. So again, your admit card already we have discussed, right? And if you have any kind of doubts or queries, this is the helpline number 011 2404 1001, right? And here you have to provide, right? So all the communication to the commission should be invariably contain the following particulars: name and year of the examination, universal registration number, application number, roll number, name of candidates, complete postal address as given in the application, valid and active registered email ID and registered mobile number, right? And reservation against vacancies for person with disability. This you can just have a quick look, right? And eligibility for availing reservation, again just have a quick look, no need to discuss here. Change of category, this is important, right? So in short, just try to understand that you can, once you have registered or you have opted your category, you are not allowed to change your category in for future, right? Just an example. So if you are a candidate from reserved category, right, clear, but you appeared as an unreserved candidate, so in future you cannot request the commission to change your category from unreserved to reserved. This is not allowed. Further, if you belong to ST and whatever due to your mistake or any other reason you opted for SC, right, then again you cannot ask the commission, right, or request the commission to change your category from SC to ST. This is also not allowed. So in short, you have to understand that change of category is not allowed in any situation, whether you are from reserved category, right, or unreserved category, or from SC or ST, or PW means person with benchmark disability, or even under the subcategory of benchmark disability. This is also not allowed, right? So here, no candidate belonging to any subcategory of persons with benchmark disability shall be allowed to change the subcategory of disabilities. So we have discussed the subcategory of person with benchmark disabilities. That is also not allowed, right? For example, you have opted for blind category, right, and later you are trying to change it from blind to deaf. This is also not allowed. Quite clear? So in short, just try to understand that no change or no change in the category is allowed in any situation. And lastly, withdrawal of application. So already I have told you that once you have submitted your application, right, in any situation you cannot withdraw your application. That is the final point. The candidate will not be allowed to withdraw their application after the submission of the same. So we have discussed all the key points, all the changes that has been introduced in the notification of UPSC Civil Services Examination 2026. I hope this video lecture is helpful for you. Thank you.